Guys, how you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. So this is our gold and silver miners update. So straight over to those charts. We'll start off with gold because we've got a quite interesting 4-hour 9 printing here. So we do know gold has been trading quite. There's been some good trades basically off the 4-hour 9. As we can see, we've had a nice sell up here, a nice sell down there, and this was a nice buy trade down here on this quasi 9. This one candle would have been a 9 before it obviously moved up and closed as a green one, and then yeah, so obviously we've got the 9 here. So trade wise, what we're looking for is we'll put it in. So basically at the moment the candle is still open for another hour. But we'll put the sell line on at the moment. Obviously, if we come down before this, this line will be in the wrong place. But for the sake of the video, we'll draw it here now. And then yeah, and then target wise, if we break that, I mean, all we can really, all my first initial target would only really be this 200 period on the 4-hour. But we'll go over to the daily to see if we've got any other targets that we could maybe look for. Yeah, I mean, we could look for this 50 period down here, but obviously that's unless it comes in, obviously when the 50 period is moved up, it will come in lower than a lot of this resistance, a lot of this support, especially here. So it may be, if we did reach that, would potentially break a bit lower. But what we'll do though is we'll put a line down to around here, because this may be where it will come in, if it does take us a few days to get down to there. So we'll leave that in now. So we've got to keep an eye on gold, because gold could potentially be having a bit of a reversal here. Only necessarily a short-term one. It's based on the 4-hour chart. So silver looking very strong. I believe we had a 4-hour 9 on silver also that didn't really hold the price up. The sell level would have been very close to activating a trade, as you can see, but we didn't quite close below it. So yeah, at the moment that's what we've got going on in silver. We'll just get rid of that, and this is potentially our first target if we do break that sell line. So we'll draw that on there so we can see that. So have a look, see if we've got anything on the daily. No, nothing on the daily. We had that weakness around that candle there, but you can see we never closed below it. It kind of just stopped the rise in its tracks. And then yeah, I mean, obviously when we broke over the high, it was a great buy again. As you can see, literally a good continuation buy. So that would have been a good buy entry that we should really have drawn on the chart. Right, so gold silver ratio, as you can see, it's dropped out of our channel, dropped below the level we're looking at. Again, this is a case of you get the bottom, we bounce off it, and then when we take it out again, we pretty much continue our downwards move. So yeah, you can see that worked nicely, which is obviously you can see gold, silver's making a nice move, compared to how gold is holding up. Right, so now let's go over to some of our ETFs. So the GDX, yep, you can see here we had a nice buy on the GDX. So what we had was we had our 9 candle. What we were looking for, our 9 buy was basically a trade closing above here and to activate our buy trade. So as you can see here, we've got this nice candle, 4-hour candle coming through. So obviously that's activated the buy trade. So yeah, we drew this obviously when we got the 9, we drew it. So we hadn't broken through the lower level yet, but that was the lower level if we broke through the 9, based on this confluence also for a potential continuation sell. But as it stands at the moment, GDX looking good for a buy, looking good for a move up, as we can see. GDXJ will obviously be looking similar. A bit of a wonky line there. We'll sort that out of it, and that one too. God, what was I doing? Yeah, so you can see we've broken through that again. So that is looking like a good buy entry. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, based on the 4-hour 9 just here, and then we did actually have a buy 9 here. So yeah, that was a good potential entry at the break of that candle. So on the 4-hour, we could have actually moved this down to here, and then once we traded above there, well, broke above there, we could have looked for the buy, and we would have been in the trade earlier than what we are now. So let's have the spot ETF for the majors. Yeah, so There's nothing really TDD wise. We nearly had a 9 here. We got down to an 8. So to be honest, with the reversal coming in, we could have been looking to go long here on the basis it looked like we'd put in the bottom. It would have been a nice low risk trade because our buy would have just been here and our stop would have just been below that candle. So yeah, we could be running that quite nicely. So that would have been a great trade on that spot ETF. And obviously, as we can see, great sell trade from here on the 4 hour. There's a 9 candle. Take out that low. It did kind of gap down, would make it difficult, but this one did close below, so you could be in it on this 4 hour candle, and then you're in the gap down, and then obviously more gaps down too. So that is actually was actually a pretty nice entry just there on the close of that 4 hour candle. The junior, a bit difficult to read this one on the 4 hour. Let's have a look on the daily. The juniors obviously you can see looking quite strong here. Nothing really on this daily here to indicate a TD entry, but what I will say is there's our high. Let's take out that high, and then just more continuation. That's how it works. Just look at the stock market. That's how markets work. You get a top. Once you take that top out, onwards and upwards. Go AU, another great gold ETF. I mean, you can see the relative outperformance of these ones to, like, if we want to look here, we're on a daily, so we sort of got this consolidation level here, and now we're quite a bit higher. Yeah, the GDX is quite similar. GDXJ is not quite as much up, and this one, yeah, oh sorry, that's the one we just looked at. But yeah, so you can see this one isn't quite as much up, this junior one. We're still only really relatively at the same level, so because the juniors basically are underperforming the majors at the moment, which is understandable. If you're going to start dipping your toe into these gold miners, you're obviously the money is gonna flood into the large cap ones, and that is what's happening. So basically your Franco Nevadas and your golds, your Barrick golds. Let's just straighten that up. There we go. So right, we're gonna have a look at some of the royalty and streamers. These are actually my favorite. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are my favorite gold plays because we'll just have a look at the silver one. Silver, yep, silver daily, looking great. Silver 4 hour, very nice sell again there, like we see, and then nearly the 9 there. And obviously this is a very similar to the other chart we looked at, where we look like we're getting the reversal. We're on the 8 candle. Just you can buy there and put your stop under there. Just very simple trade, and that's you're in a good profit now, especially compared to what your risk reward was. So the royalty and streamers, wheat and precious metals. Yeah, this again is very similar. Obviously we know these will be very similar. It's a very similar. We didn't get the 9, but we can see we got the bottom. We started to move up, so this is a potential buy. I mean, if you want to play this on the safe side, you could have a buy above here, above basically this top level here. So just keep buying the breakouts basically. I mean, you can see how that's worked all along in the trend so far. The trend is your friend until the end. So yeah, we'll draw that on there. That would be the trade I'd be looking at. Sandstorm Gold, one of my personal favorites. You can see again, similar trade. It's looking for a breakout. We're consolidating this sort of zone. We can pretty much draw 2 lines here. One below, one above. Sorry. So down, we've got the one there. Take that arrow off it. Sorry, I just put the arrow on it. Just bear with me, guys. Sorry about this. Then the arrow, basically, not the arrow, the line above here, and then we will have the arrows now. We will have them. Where are they? Where are they when we need them? So yeah, so a break of here. I mean, potentially down to the 200, maybe further. We'd have to see it in real time, and then to the upside. Sky's your limit. So let's have a look at Barrick. Barrick, we already drew this on. This is our buy entry. We have the 9 here. 4 hour 9. Did we have a daily 9? What was that? What was this based on? This obviously was just based on this support, basically old support, new resistance. So what we can do now, we can actually move this down here to round about the top of that 9. And yeah, so there's our new entry, and clearly this would be our stop. And I will put down this is our stop. This is like a stop and reverse, so like a stop and go short. Because you can go short if you break this level here. But yeah, we'll draw that on there. So that's potentially the support level, or the breakouts to the lower side if we break through. Let's have a look at Anglo Gold Ashanti. So we didn't draw anything on, but again, you would buy trade would have been there. You would have been in this buy trade now, and obviously you stop under that 8 candle. If we do break down from here, this I guess is a good level as any to watch for a breakdown. So we will draw this on, so we can see the historical confluence here. We'll draw it on. So trading below here, potentially looking for a sell trade. And we should realistically be in the buy trade and looking to buy more basically once we break above those highs. So let's just get rid of that arrow. Oh no, so get the arrow on. So let's have a look at some silver. First Majestic. Wow, there we go. Silver in the trade. Off we go. Off to the races. Let's see how this trade pans out. You can see this horizontal was pretty important. So we were nicely through that. So yeah, I mean, we still obviously got, I mean, this is we still got some work to go to fully confirm above him, and we could break a bit more, come back and back test it, then carry on. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily think we're just gonna go onwards and upwards now. I think you'll get another time to buy around this line, even if we do go up a bit further. So yeah, First Majestic, great buy entry there. This is looking pretty strong, but we do not actually have a trade in here yet. But again, it would have been we had the 9. So closing below that 9 would have been your sell trade, where you got the move down, and then trading above the 9 would be your new entry if you didn't take it off the 21 period moving average that you can clearly see we're hugging. But yeah, that sort of reversal candle starting to trade up, and that will signal to me a buy entry. SLV. So yeah, so here we go. So we've got a nice channel here. We're heading for the top of the channel. So yeah, so I would expect to get that high, especially now we've broken above this high here. Yeah, and clearly above these as well. We obviously broke above that, came back and tested the channel, and now yeah, moving back to the upside. So yeah, looking very good in Silvercrest there. Fortuna. Didn't have any trades on, but again, we know it's a 7. We didn't draw them all on because they're pretty much, a lot of them are similar, a lot of them are the same trade. So yeah, break of the above of the 9 would have been the buy trade, and obviously you could be in the sell from below there, so you would have taken your profits or broke even. So yeah, any other gold, silver miner tickers, ETFs, or ratios or anything you want us to look at? Not there's many other ratios, but you want to have a look at, yeah, just leave in the comments. And yeah, so remember, it's not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. But yeah, having said that, gold and silver miners, I think could be the new crypto, or join crypto as the new exciting, fast moving, big potential gains, profit asset class. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out, guys. So yeah, again, not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research. And any other tickers we're gonna have a look at, let me know in the description. There were a lot of smaller juniors OTC ones that I couldn't really do much charting on because of how the chart is on an OTC chart. So but yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and I will speak to you all soon.